Yeah. So, good evening, students. Let us start. So, today we'll discuss, the part two mathematics and physics problems, and after that, I'll give you the solutions to the biology questions, and that will, be, agenda for today. And if we have, time, then I'll take you to our tool to the online test platform, especially for KVPY essay. You know that KVPY essay is completely online now, and we at Konar classes makes all these tests completely online, the way it comes in the actual examination. So I will take you a small, demonstration, a live demonstration through which you will see that how you can appear the KVPI mock test paper using online. Okay, so now let us start for the first question, which is question 61, as you see in the screen. Uh, you see in the expansion of 7 power 1 by 3, in the expansion of 7 power 1 by 3, and just a minute. Yep. In the expansion of 7 power 1 by 3 plus 11 power 1 by 9 power 6561. So this has how many terms? If you have studied binomial theorem, in a binomial theorem, this is having 6562 terms. Now, out of those 6562 terms, you need to find the terms which are purely integer. Because if you look into this, the expansion, if I write here, you know, if I write here, so just a minute, let me use a different color pen. So 7 power 1 by 3 plus 11 power 1 by 9. 7 power 1 by 3 plus 11 power 1 by 9 power 6561. This is binomial series. So in this, so for a side discussion, for a theoretical discussion, if I say you that in a binomial expansion, that is a plus b power n, why it is binomial, I discussed some of the earlier question, is that because there are two terms, a plus b, a and b, there are two terms, and n. So a plus b power n, it has n plus 1 terms, and the r plus 1th term is denoted by tr plus 1. So what is the r plus 1th term? Okay, I see some message that not able to see the screen. Let me have a look into it. You should, hello Kanchan Mukherjee, you should be able to now. All of you are able to view the screen. Could you please say yes or no based on your experience?
Yes, sir. Yes, we are able to see it.
Okay, great. So, hello Kanchan Mukherjee, that login. Can you please tell me that whether you are able to view it now? Okay, so let me proceed. In case or I'm not able to hear anything from Kanchan Mukherjee, could you please tell me? Okay, so let us proceed. So what is the r plus 1th term? So r plus 1th term is known as the general term here. So this is denoted by tr plus 1. And how we express, tr plus 1? Tr plus 1 is equal to ncr into a power n minus r into b power r. So now this is the theory. So now if we apply this concept in the question what we have. So what is that? The question what we have is that 7 power 1 by 3 into 11 power 1 by 3. So now what will be the r plus 1th term of this series? So r plus 1th term, if I write it here, r plus 1th term of 7 power 1 by 3 plus 11 power 1 by 9 power 6561, that is, as you know, that is tr plus 1, that should be equal to ncr. What is ncr? It is 6561 cr, then 7 power 1 by 3 power n minus r, that is 6561 minus r into 11 power 1 by 9 power r. Correct? So then what we get, if we make it little simplification, so then we get tr plus 1, that is equal to 6561 cr into 7 power 2187, because 6561 by 3, that will become 2187 minus r by 3 into 11 power r by 9. 11 power r by 9. Look into these terms. So this tr plus 1 to be a pure integer. So in order to have the tr plus 1 pure integer, then r by 3 and r by 9 has to be integer. Obviously, right? Otherwise, if it is not an integer, then the term tr plus 1 cannot be an integer. So what we see? Now what we get is that I'm just writing so that you will understand that the way I'm deriving, and this is the same thing you need to apply in similar question in future. So now tr plus 1 to be pure integer, both r by 3 and r by 9 has to be integers. R by 9 has to be integer. What does it mean? It means that r must be a multiple of 9. That implies r is a multiple of 9. Now if it is but what is the restrictions on r? R could be any value from 0 to 6561. So we know that 0 less than equal to r less than equal to 6561. That implies 0 less than equal to r by 9 is less than equal to 6561 by 9, that will comes to 729. So that means the value of r by 9 could be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 729. So correct? So that means what? That means r by 9 could be 0, 1, 2, 3 in that way up to 729. That means there are total 730 terms possible. Correct? So this implies the total That implies total 730 terms are possible. 730 terms are possible, and we get the correct option as A. I hope all of you understood. Any doubt, please do let me know. Okay, so let's go to the next question. In the next question, it is from complex number. It says z, which is not equal to I, is complex number such that imaginary part, Im means imaginary part of Im iz minus 2 by z minus I plus 1 equal to 0, then what is the locus of z in the Argand diagram? Few days back we had a online session on locus. So if any one of you has need to have your idea clear on locus, please do let me know. I will send you the video lecture of that class. So locus is nothing but the curve traced out by a point subject to the geometric conditions. So what is the geometric condition here? Here the geometric condition is that imaginary part of iz minus 2 by z minus I plus 1 equal to 0. And if you have already learned a complex number in your school, then you'll know that any complex number we can plot into their diagram called Argand diagram. So similarly, this kind of complex number z has to be plotted in the Argand diagram. Now, if we plot in the Argand diagram and the complex number, behaves something like this, which is the geometrical condition, is imaginary part of, that imaginary part of iz minus 2 by z minus I plus 1 equal to 0, then what kind of curve will be traced out? So that we are going to find. So before that, I would like, as you are in class 11, so I need to take some time to explain you about that how we can find the that imaginary part of this one. Okay, so here the way we can proceed. So what is z? So let's assume z is equal to z is equal to x plus iy, where x and y belongs to the set of real number. That is why the complex number. Now, minutely look into one thing: z cannot be equal to I. Always means, in this KBPI and also in entrance exam, always give emphasis on the, conditions what is given. Because the moment z is equal to I, then imaginary part of something by 0, na? Z minus I means if z is equal to I, then it becomes 0. It is a meaningless. Okay. So that's why this condition is giving the z cannot be equal to I. So now let us derive that what is the value of iz minus 2 divided by z minus I. If we do this thing, we'll find it out. So what is iz? I into z, it is x plus iy minus 2 divided by x plus iy, minus I. So now we can simplify further. It is, so if we simplify further, then it will come something like this. It is I into x plus I square y minus 2 divided by x plus I into y minus 1. So that you can simplify again. So from here what you will get? You will get minus 2, because I square is equal to minus 1, minus 2 minus y plus ix divided by x plus I into y minus 1. Now I'm going to discuss little bit of fundamental here. So whenever you need to express a complex number in the form of a plus ib, first and foremost thing what you need to do is that you need to make sure that the denominator doesn't have any complex number. Now how to make denominator is not having a complex number? We need to multiply the denominator, whatever the complex number is given, we need to multiply with its conjugate complex number. So to multiply with its conjugate complex number, so we'll get something like this. So here we'll get minus 2 minus y plus ix, and the conjugate of x plus I into y minus 1 is that x minus I into y minus 1 divided by here x plus I into y minus 1 into x minus I into I minus 1. Correct? So then what we'll get is that let's now have a just algebraic simplification. You can do it at your end as well. So it become x into minus 2 minus y minus I square into x into y minus 1 plus I into, so here I need to give a second bracket because first bracket will come. So here x square plus 2 plus y into y minus 1 divided by, here it will be what, x square minus y minus 1 whole square, and I square is minus 1, so it become actually plus. So if we simplify further, then what we'll get? We'll get simplify. If we simplify further, you'll get something like this, that minus 2x minus I. So let me do in more elaborative manner. Minus 2x minus x into y plus x into y. Why plus x into y? Because I square is minus 1, minus into minus is plus. So I square is minus 1, so then it will be again as minus 1 plus, here I is there, I, then if we simplify, then we'll get something like this, that x square plus 2y minus 2 plus y square minus y divided by x square plus y minus 1 whole square. So if we simplify further, then it is something coming like this. This is equal to minus 2x. As you see that minus xy plus xy got cancelled. So minus 2x minus 1. Then plus I into x square plus y square plus y minus 2 divided by x square plus y minus 1 whole square. So now if we make it in a plus ib form, so here what is the a? A is become minus of 2x plus 1 divided by x square plus y minus 1 whole square plus I into, it is x square plus y square plus y minus 2 divided by x square plus y minus 1 whole square. So now imaginary part of this thing is what? So now let me do it here. It is given imaginary part of I into z minus 2 divided by z minus I plus 1 is equal to 0. So what is imaginary part of this complex number? Imaginary part of this complex number will be only this part. So then what we can write is that we can write that x square plus y square plus y minus 2 divided by x square plus y minus 1 whole square plus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies, if we simplify further, we'll get it here x square plus y square plus y minus 2 plus x square plus y square minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies, 2x square plus 2y square minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies, if we take 2 common, then we'll get something like this. So we can write it here. This implies x square plus y square minus 1 by 2 into y minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. Now here I need to go back to a little bit of theory about the circle. So what is the general equation of a circle? Okay, if you have already aware of it, it's fine. Otherwise I need to describe a little bit. So I'm just writing it here in different color. The general equation of a circle is something like this. It is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. That is the general equation of a circle. So what is the coordinate of the center? The coordinate of the center at the point minus g comma minus f. And what is the radius of this circle? The radius of this circle is square root of g square plus f square minus c. So this is actually known as the general equation of a circle. So this knowledge you need to apply here to solve this question. So this is general equation of circle. So now if you resemble with this concept with our with the question what we have here, then let's see how we can apply this one. So then what will happen? We will write in this form. So here it will be x square plus y square plus 2 into, there is no coefficient of x, so you can write 0. 2 into 0 into x plus 2 into minus 1 by 4 into y plus minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. So if you resemble this equation with the general equation of circle, what you get? You get z is equal to 0, f is equal to minus 1 by 4, and we get c is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now what is the center then? Coordinate of the center is minus g minus f, that is 0. Minus of minus 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. Now if you look into the question, so there are two options, option C and option D having the center 0, 1 by 4. So option A and option B is nullified by this time. Now we need to find the radius. So if we find the radius, it will be something like this. It is square root of g square 0 plus f square, that is 1 by 16, minus c, that is 1 by 2, because c is minus 1 by 2, so minus c is plus 1 by 2. So if you find the value of this radius, you will find it right. Right. square root of 9 by 16, that is equal to 3 by 4. So now which option is correct now? It is option C which is correct. We get option C as correct. So we get option C as correct. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Any doubt, please do let me know before we proceed to the next question. Okay, so those who doesn't have complex numbers is not yet done in your school, so you can always refer all these things in future and before your KVPI examination, and at any point of time you also can contact me in any doubt. Now let's proceed to the next question, that is question number 63. This is a question on probability. More specifically, I can say this is a question of conditional probability. So conditional probability, you all learned probability in your class 9 and 10 though. So conditional probability is a probability when one event is already happened and it is given to you. Okay, so if I tell you the fundamentals about the conditional probability, it is something like this. Okay. So I just want to give you a fundamental about conditional probability. Then we'll start. Otherwise, you will not able to enjoy the solution. What I'm going to do. Okay. Conditional probability. Suppose one event is already is given. So probability of the event A subject to the condition B has already happened. This is known as now probability of the event A. Probability of the event A subject to the condition that event B has happened. Okay, let me give you an example. Suppose if I roll a die, what is the probability that I am going to get a face of 2? That is 1 by 6. Now suppose I tell that okay, I roll a die and I get an even face. That has already been told to us that I already get an even face. Now what is the probability of getting a face 2? That will be 1 by 3, because out of these 6 possible cases, it is now reduced to 3, because it has been informed that the number of events has been, sorry, number of the total number of cases has been reduced from 6 to 3. So that is probability, a conditional probability, where the event B is actually that I got an even face, and event A is that probability of is even getting an even getting a phase 2. So that means probability of A by B, that means what? Probability of getting a phase 2 subject to the condition that I got an even phase. That will be 1 by 3. And there is a fundamental rule behind it, how to compute that one, And here is the rule. And that is the rule we are going to apply here in the question. So probability of A subject to the condition B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Let me show you by means of that example that whatever I said now. So what is our event A? Let me spend some time to explain you, then you will understand about conditional probability very clearly. Event A is that get, okay, before that I should write what is the experiment. Event happens to an experiment, right? So, and not only an experiment, it has to be a random experiment. What is a random experiment? What is the difference between an experiment and a random experiment? Not any experiment is a random experiment, and probability can only happen to a random experiment. An experiment will be informed as a random experiment if it follows two conditions. Number one condition is that it will have more than one outcome. You toss a coin, roll a die, you see the number of outcomes are more than one. That is the first condition to have that experiment as a random experiment. For example, if I make a coin which both the sides are head, and if I toss it, then every time I will get head only. So that experiment will not be known as a random experiment because there the number of outcome is one. So unless the number of outcomes is more than one, it is not possible to have that experiment to be known as random experiment. Number one condition. Number two condition is that when the experiment is happening, we cannot say which event is which result we are going to get, what result we are going to get, that we cannot say. For example, when you roll a die or when you toss a coin, when the die is rolling or when the coin is in the air, when the coin is in the air, you cannot say whether it is going to be a head or tail when it hits the ground, right? So that is also second condition of to have an experiment to be a random experiment. So what is our experiment here? Here our experiment is, more specifically to say, it is a random experiment. No need to mention though in case of probability. So what is the random experiment here? Is a roll a die. Roll a die. What is an event happen to an experiment, right? So what is event A? Event A is that get phase 2. And what is event B? Event B is get even phase. Now let's see how we can compute the probability of A and B. So now if we, there is something called set theoretic notation of probability. From there we can say what is the favorable case for A. Favorable case for A is that getting a phase 2 is only 2. And what is the, for B? It is 2, 4 or 6 because it is an even phase. Correct? Then what is A intersection B? The intersection of A and B, that is only 2. Correct? So what is probability of A intersection B then? Because in the universal set there are 6 elements, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas in A intersection B there is only one element 2, so it will be 1 by 6. What is the probability of B? Probability of B is that there are, in favorable cases are 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, and there are total number of cases is 6, so it is 3 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 2. Now let's apply this, formula whatever we just learned. If we apply it here now, so you'll get probability of A subject to the condition B has happened is equal to probability of A intersection B, that is 1 by 6 divided by probability of B 1 by 2, that is equal to 1 by 3. That is what we actually discussed in the beginning, na? That if I tell you that I roll a die and if I tell you that you got an even phase, then what is the probability of getting the phase 2? It is 1 by 3. So, but I derive it by means of this, theory. Now let us come back to this question, that when we can say this is an independent event and based on what condition. So let me, explore this thing here in a different color. So look at here. So what is, according to the question, it is given, what is given? Probability of E1 subject to the condition E2 has happened is equal to 1 by 4. So this implies, according to the theory we just learned, probability of E1 intersection E2 divided by probability of E2 is equal to 1 by 4. This implies probability of E1 intersection E2 is equal to 1 by 4 into probability of E2. So now what is probability of E2? Probability of E2 is given as 1 by 2. So from here we get probability of E1 intersection E2 is equal to 1 by 4 into 1 by 2, that is equal to 1 by 8. Now let us understand something about independent event. Now when an event is called be independent, okay, so let me explain it here. Now independent event, two events are independent, A and B. Suppose when we say when the occurrence of the event A does not influence the occurrence of the event B, then only you can independent. That means what? When it is an independent, probability of A subject to the condition B has happened, okay, should be equal to what? Should be equal to probability of A, because whether B happened or not, based on that there is no influence of event A. So probability of A is equal to the probability of A subject to the condition B has happened. That is the condition of independence. Okay, so then from here what we can say? So probability of A subject to the condition B has happened is what? So probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B is equal to probability of A. So from here what we can say? Probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. That is the condition to have two events independent. Okay, so that is the condition for independent event. So I can write it here. So I can write it here. Condition for two events to be condition for two events A and B to be independent. So now let's see what is the value of probability of E1 into probability of E2. So we see the value of probability of E1 into probability of E2 is what? Probability of E1 into probability of E2, that is equal to 1 by 4 into 1 by 2, that is equal to 1 by 8. And so that means we can conclude what? Probability of E1 intersection E2 is equal to 1 by 8, which is equal to probability of E1 into probability of E2. This implies what? This implies events E1 and E2 are independent. As they are independent, we get the option A as correct. So this implies option A correct. I hope all of you understood this thing, because this is a topic of class 12, conditional probability, but you know, nothing can be done, as in KVPY essay only this kind of question comes. So you know, we don't have any other choice rather than to learn and proceed. Okay, if you do not have any doubt, then we can proceed to the next question. Okay, so next question is question 64.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
so what do you mean by exhaustive property?
Okay, very good question. Okay, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. So what is exhaustive? You know, though it is not related to this question, but I can, you know, give you a little bit of idea about exhaustiveness. Exhaustive events are events so that if you club together all the events, then no other events left for the universal set, then it is called exhaustive. And you know, when we discuss about the exhaustive events, there is eventually another terminology come that is called mutually exclusive. So mutually exclusive and exhaustive behavior are very common in probability discussion, and that is why these two terminologies are very important. I can go ahead and explain you this thing. Okay, so let me explain you about what is exhaustive and you know uh, and mutually exclusive. So here let me explain in a different color. Okay, so here it goes. So think about, there are multiple events. So there, suppose there are, I'm explaining it here. Let there are n events. Okay, there are n events. What are the events? E1, E2, E3, and in that way up to n events. So these n events are part of that any random experiment. Now these n events will be called exhaustive if the union of all these events, we'll discuss in the next year when we'll discuss about probability, that there is a set theoretic notation of probability. Union of all these things would be the universal set. What is the universal set? Okay, uh, universal set, you should not be mixed up with that union. So let me then describe with a set called T, the total set. Let me describe you what is this. So that means any random experiment, you will have the universal set. In set notation, there is something called universal, no? Okay, so what is universal? So something like this thing. Universal set is always described in a rectangular format. So this is, suppose, your universal set T. Then you have events E1, E2, E3, En in this space. So their union will actually make this the total number of total number of cases. It is called exhaustive. Then we say E1, E2, E3 are exhaustive. For example, if I say in the experiment of rolling a die, if I say I have two events, E1 is getting a even face and E2 getting a odd face. Now you see, you make that union of the even face and odd face, you will get the total number of sample space, that what is there. So that's why they are exhaustive. Now if I say I have an event E1 which is a even face, and I have another event E2 which is prime number, the face which is a prime number, then if you see their uh, join is not a complete set, universal set, then they are not exhaustive. So that is called the exhaustive. Now though you have not asked the other terminologies, but I want to explain because this is comes hand in hand, that is called mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. So this is exhaustive. And in exhaustive there is another notation that you can say, that union of I is equal to 1 to n, that will become the total set, the T. So this is let me make a separation so that in future there should not be any confusion. This is exhaustive. Now let me describe what is mutually exclusive. Let me discuss mutually exclusive here. If you take any two sets, EI and EJ, two distinct set, okay, so they are, sorry, just a minute. EI intersection EJ should be equal to phi, means null set, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to n. J is also equal to 1, 2, 3 up to n, but I is not equal to j. So that is called, mutually exclusive. So this is an example of mutually exclusive. So why I said that this is important, that both to understand mutually exclusive and exhaustive events together. Next year, when we'll discuss about more details about conditional probability, then Bayes theorem, total probability theorem, we'll discuss few things. So what is the pictorial description? So suppose this is my event E1, this is my event E2, this is the event E3. You see, there is nothing common in between all these sets. In that way, you have E4, E5, E6, E7, E8, E9, like that, means En. In that way, if you'll continue, you'll get up to En. If you see all these sets, any two sets are disjoint set. That means their intersection there is no elements. That is why it makes them mutually exclusive. And why it is exhaustive? Because if you take a union of all these sets, you get the total set. That is a universal set T in this case. So that is why it is called exhaustive. Now, why these two are going hand in hand? Lot of events, what we see in a very practically, they are both having both the properties mutually exclusiveness and exhaustiveness. Let me give you an example. Suppose, in a very classical example I can give. Suppose doctor comes to his chamber. When a doctor comes to his chamber, suppose you see the patients are already there in the chamber. Okay, then it has been observed in that particular clinic the doctor is always late. Okay, and doctor said, I'm sorry that I'm late to come to the chamber, but if I come by car, the probability of me getting late is 1 by 3. If I come by by auto, for example, then the probability of getting late is 1 by 4. If I come by walking, then probability of getting late is 1 by 3. In that way he's telling. So then if you see, this is a very classical example of mutually exclusive and exhaustive. Why it is mutually exclusive? Because when that doctor is coming by auto, he cannot come by bus, because any two are disjoint. That makes it is a mutually exclusive. And why it is exhaustive? Because when doctor is coming to the chamber, he is coming by any of these vehicles, any of this mode of communication. There is nothing left. So that is why this is a classical example of mutual exclusiveness and exhaustiveness. Like that, there are several, and it has a very enormous application is there in Bayes theorem, total probability theorem, that we all discuss in the next year. Anyway, did you get your answer? Who asked this question about that exhaustive events?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now let me go to the next question, which is question 64. Okay, and if you look into this question, it is mentioned that A, B, C are in AP, arithmetic progression, and A, M, B, and C are in geometric progression. Then we need to find what A, M square, B, and C are there in which progression, or none of these, whatever that we need to discuss. So let us see. This is not that a difficult question. I hope all of you are done with sequence and series in your school. So what is the first one? A, B, C are in AP. From there, what conclusion you can make? You can make a conclusion that B is equal to A plus C by 2. And another one is that another information is given: A, MB, and C are in GP. So from the property of GP, what we can say? M into B whole square is equal to A into C. Correct? Now let's see how we can leverage these two. So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Let us see how we can leverage these two to find any conclusion what we can make out of these options. So now we see it is given M square B. So let's start with M square B. So M square B is equal to what? Now let us express in terms of mb, because mb is given to us. So let's write it is, if we write it that mb whole square, then we need to divide by b. So what is mb whole square? Mb whole square is nothing but a into c. And what is b? B is a plus c by 2. So from here what we get? From here we get that m square b is equal to 2 into a into c divided by a plus c, and that is the example that shows that m square b is an harmonic mean of a and c. M square b is the harmonic mean of a and c. I hope all of you are aware of what is harmonic mean and what is harmonic progression. So if a, b, c are in arithmetic progression, then 1 by a, 1 by b, 1 by c are in harmonic progression. So that implies that a, m square b and c are in harmonic progression HP. So the correct option is C. So we get the correct option of C. So this was quite a straightforward question. I hope things are clear. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Then let us go to the next question. What is question number 65? So here the question is that what is the minimum value of sin x plus cosec x whole square plus cos x plus sec x whole square? Though apparently it looks like a question of trigonometry, but it is not. It is a question of algebra. Okay. Okay. So let me show you how to proceed with this one. So what is the value of the expression? Here is given. It is sin x plus cosec x whole square plus sec x whole square. So that is, suppose let's give this value is equal to a. Let we consider the value of this expression is a. So this implies what? This implies a is equal to sin square x plus cosec square x plus 2 sin x into cosec square is 1, so that's why it is 2, plus cos square x plus sec square x plus 2 cos x into sec x is again 1, that's why it is 2. So from here what do we get? That is equal to a is equal to sin square x plus cos square x, sin square x plus cos square x sorry, plus 2 plus 2 is 4 plus cosec square x plus cosec square x plus sec square x. That means what? 1 by cosec square x is sin square x plus sec square x is cos square x. So that implies what? That implies a is equal to sin square x plus cos square x is 1, 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus that become cos square x, LCM of sin square x plus cos square x is sin square x cos square x, cos square x plus, so that's we are getting in the numerator, and cos x into sin x whole square. So this gives a is equal to 5 plus sin square x plus cos square x is 1. So what we are doing here is that sin x into cos x, so we make it 2 sin x cos x whole square. Now as 2 square has been multiplied, so we multiply in the numerator 2 square so that it will balance this one. So balance the entire value of the expression. 5 plus 4 by 2 sin x cos x is what? Sin 2x. That is the fast trigonometric, formula you are using. Apart from that, you see all are, algebra. So from here, what we get? From here we get A is equal to 5 plus 4 cosec square 2x. Now let's have a look into it. The second one we are going to apply in the this one. We know that value of cosec 2x, sorry, cosec 2x is always greater than equal to 1. That means what? That means value of cosec square 2x should also be greater than equal to 1. That means 4 into cosec square 2x should be greater than equal to 4. That means 5 plus 4 into cosec square 2x should be greater than equal to 5 plus 4, which is 9. That implies A is greater than equal to 9. So what is the minimum value of A? The minimum value of A is, then that implies what? That implies minimum value of A, that is the expression value, is 9. That implies correct option is B. I hope all of you are able to get this one. Please have a quick look in.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I'm Pratik again.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, I have another method of doing this.
Yeah, you can do it multiple ways. Absolutely. You can, in fact, I would encourage that if you do it in other way and send it to me. Absolutely, there are multiple ways. In fact, I can solve this question in 3 ways. It come to my mind now. So there is no ego on that. I hope you got the same, but your answer should be same, right?
Yeah, I'm getting the answer in terms of tan and cot.
That is fine. You can, but ultimately, you'll find that minimum value is, 9. You can do one thing, Pratik.
Yeah,
You can send me your solution. We can discuss offline, huh?
okay.
All right, fine.
Thank
So this is the, the 5 questions what we have, for for mathematics. Then we'll go for the physics. So in physics, if you see, this is the first question. Question number 66. Okay. Let's go through the problem first. It says that the passengers in the jet transport A flying east, at speed of 800 km per hour, observe a second jet plane B that passes under the transport in horizontal flight. Although the nose of B pointed in the 45-degree northeast direction, plane B appears to the passenger in A to be moving away from the transport at the 60% angle as shown below. There is a diagram is given. So now from here we need to find what is the true velocity of B. Okay, so the way the passenger A is saying, it is a relative velocity. Okay, what is appears to the passenger of A. So now what we can do is that by reading into the problem, we can give it a a vector diagram of this one, and then things will be very well understood. So what is, suppose this is, as it is horizontal, let's say, okay, just a minute. So suppose this is the way, VA, that is the, velocity of the plane A. Now, what is the velocity of the plane B? According to the question, it is 45 degree. So velocity of the plane B. And what is the angle? This angle is actually mentioned, it is a 45 degree. Now, velocity of the plane B appear to passenger in plane A is what? VBA. If you look into the set theoric notation, then you need to join this. If you join this, then this is actually becoming VBA. What is VBA? Let us look into it. And it is also mentioned this angle is 60 degree. Now as this is 45, this is 60, obviously this has to be 75 degree, as we know that sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So what we get it here from this vector diagram. So what is VA? VA is equal to velocity of plane A. Velocity of plane A. Now what is VB? VB is equal to velocity of plane B. And what is VBA? So VBA is equal to the velocity, as I just said few minutes back, velocity of plane B appear to passenger in plane A. Appear to passenger in plane A. Then what happened is that now I need to discuss little bit of the theory. So theory about mathematics, that is called properties of triangles. So here is the theory, because theory I need to write in a different color pen so that you can always refer later. So in a triangle, always if you have a triangle something like this, ABC, that capital ABC is known as the angle. So this is known as A, capital A, this is known as capital B, this is known as capital C. And opposite to the side A, so opposite to the angle A, this is known as the side A, means BC is equal to A. Then opposite to angle B is known as B, that is side AC, that is B. And opposite to the angle C is a side is known as C, which is AB. Then there are several properties of triangles. So there are 6 attributes to a triangle. There are 3 sides and 3 angles. So there are several relations. One of the relations which we are going to apply in this context is called, it is A by sine A, that is called sine rule, is equal to B by sine B is equal to C by sine C. So this rule we are going to apply here. If you are going to apply this rule, it looks like something, this thing. So using sine rule, what we will get? Using sine rule, you get VA by, you see, VA, this is VA, so opposite to this VA is sine 75 degree. This is sine 75 degree. That is equal to, then VB, opposite to VB will be what? VB is sine 60 degree. This is equal to sine 60 degree. That is equal to VBA divided by sine 45 degree. Sine 45 degree. So from here what we get? From here we get that VB is equal to sine 60 divided by sine 75 degree into VA, and VA is given to us. VA is given to us as what? VA is given to us as 800 kilometer per hour. So from here what we get? VB is equal to sine 60 degree divided by sine 75 degree into 800 kilometer per hour. So what we get the correct option? If you look into the options, we see option C is the correct one. So we get option C as correct. So this is the correct option. Okay, I hope everyone understood this thing. Any doubt, please do let me know. So now let me go to the next question, which is question 67. Okay, so let me first place the question in front of you. So if you look into this one, if a car moving towards a hill with 30 meter per second and emitting sound of frequency 1000 Hz, then the frequency detected by driver in reflected sound is what? And it has been given that the speed of sound in air is 330 meter per second. Just by looking into the question, you need to make your mind that we need to use the Doppler's theorem here, So you need to, apply the Doppler's effect, and um, I hope it is not yet covered in your, school. So let me give you a basic idea about it. So here I'm writing. So by applying Doppler's effect, by applying Doppler's effect, we get f dash is equal to f into what we get. It is the velocity of the sound plus velocity of the observer. So we are writing v plus v of observer divided by velocity of sound minus velocity of observer. We'll discuss in details when we'll discuss about the Doppler's, effect in sound waves. Then we'll discuss in details. So where v is the velocity of sound, we'll discuss in details that how this, formula is derived. Where v, sorry, just a minute. Where v is the f dash equal to, where v is the velocity of sound wave. Velocity of sound wave. So now let's apply, because all the information is given to us. F dash equal to f is given, it is 1000, correct? 1000 into 1000 into what is v? V is 330, it is given. 330 plus v of the observer is 30 divided by 330 minus 30. So if we look into this thing, then it gives so f dash is equal to 1000 into, it is 360 divided by 300. Now if you simplify, definitely you will get this is equal to f dash equal to 1200 Hertz, and we get okay f dash is the frequency. Okay, there is a question. So you read the question, then the frequency detected by the driver. So what frequency driver will detect? There are two frequencies. One frequency is that of the sound wave, which is the is already given. It's the ideal one, which is 1000 hertz. But when you are going, because of the um, emitting sound of the frequency, when it is emitting a sound of uh, where the sound wave velocity is given as 300 330 um, mile per second, meter per second, then f dash is that frequency detected by the driver in the reflected sound. It is given. So this is f dash, frequency detected by driver in the reflected sound. That's what we given as f dash. So we get, so from here we say, so we get the correct option as C. So we get C is the correct option. Any more doubt, please ask me, so that I can answer. Okay, otherwise let me proceed to the next question, which is question number 68. So question number 68 I expect you to answer, because it is on the work done. I hope most of you are done in your school. So they calculate the work done by the force. The force, it is given as a vector notation, and there is a due to this force, the particle displaced from the point 3 comma 2 comma 0 to the 2 comma 1 comma minus 3. So these are the position vectors. So if I look into, if I draw this one, so this is a point here. Suppose if we consider this point as A, its coordinate is 3 comma 2 comma 0. And that is another point here, B. This is 2 comma 1 comma minus 3. So these are the position vectors. And if you understand from the concept of position vectors, if this is the origin, so this is position vector, this is another position vector. So if we know the position vectors, if these two are position vectors, then we can find what is the displacement vector. Okay. So this is the displacement vector. So let R be the displacement vector. Let R be the displacement vector. Now that means what? How to find? If you R is equal to, then we know, we discussed in our classroom session about that, how to find the displacement vector from the position vector. You need to subtract their coordinates, and then accordingly you need to give the unit vector along that direction of x, y, and z. So then it will be 2 minus 3 I plus 1 minus 2 j plus minus 3 minus 0 minus 3 minus 0 k. So from here what we get? We get R is equal to minus I minus j minus 3k. So work done is nothing but the scalar product of force and displacement. So the work done is, so the work done is, if we discuss, the work done is equal to W is equal to F dot R, force into displacement, that is the vector product, sorry, scalar product. So what is F? F is already given. It is 6i minus 3j. So 6i minus 3j, and there is no k component, so we can assume this as 0 into k. Dot, there is a dot product. R is minus I minus j minus 3k. Now if we apply the concept of the dot product, you will find that I got multiplied, so that is minus 6, and jj will multiply, that is minus 3 into minus 1 is plus 3, and k will be 0. So from here we get W is equal to minus 3 joule. Okay, and so this implies we get the correct option as A. So this implies we get the correct option as, as A. That is a simple concept of find the work done. Okay, now let's look into the next question. Okay, that is question number 69. Okay, so let me show you the question here. So what is mentioned here, the frictionless wire AB, is fixed on a vertical ring of radius r. Okay, a small spherical ball slipped on the wire as shown below. Then we need to find the time taken by the ball to slip from A to B. So this is the way we can do. Let's write this one. Let AB be the distance of AB. So I'm writing it here. Let AB be the distance AB, and alpha AB be the acceleration of ball along AB, be the acceleration of ball along AB. Then from the from our kinematics formula, what we can write, SAB, S is equal to ut plus half at square, 0 into t, initial velocity was 0, so half into alpha AB into t square, t is the time duration it took. So from here what we get? From here we get S of AB is equal to half of alpha AB into t square. Let me give this as equation 1. Now we need to find how to find the acceleration, and I always say in my class this thing, force is something which causes acceleration. So that means there is a force which causes this acceleration. So what is that force? Let's find it out. So if you look into this one, the mass mg will come here. As this angle is theta, this angle should also be theta. Correct? Then component of mg along this AB will be what? Mg cos theta. So that is the only force. There is no other force. So force acting on the ball. So what we can write? Force acting on ball. Force acting on ball along AB is equal to what? Mg cos theta. And what we know? That we know force is equal to mass into acceleration from Newton's second law of motion. So that means this force mg cos theta should be equal to mass into acceleration, that is alpha AB. So from here we get the value of alpha AB is equal to g cos theta. G cos theta, since mass cannot be equal to 0. So this value of, if you apply this value of alpha AB in this SAB, okay, what is SAB by the way? So SAB is nothing but, if you see that SAB, if I write it here, it is nothing but that AC cos theta, because this angle is 90 degree by the way. Okay, so then AB is equal to what? SAB is equal to nothing but that AB distance, so that is equal to AB cos theta. AB cos theta is equal to half into alpha AB g cos theta into t square. So that is equal to what? Cos theta will get cancelled. So t square is equal to 2 into AB by g. What is AB? AB is nothing but the, I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. It should be AC cos theta. I'm sorry. It should be AC cos theta. It is not AB, because SAB is equal to AC cos theta. So we get here it is AC cos theta. What is AC? AC is nothing but the diameter 2 into R. That is totally we get what? This implies we get t square is equal to 4 into R by G. 4 into R by G. So from here we get T is equal to 2 into square root of R by G. So this implies we get the correct option is C. So we get the correct option as C. Okay, so this is one thing. Now I hope it is clear to you. Any doubt, please do let me know. So then we'll go to the next question, which is question number 70. And here it is a little different type of question to understand that how you take care about the different component of that force. So a body is displaced from 0 0 to 1 meter 1 meter along the path y x equal to y. So it is this condition is very important, x equal to y, and you'll see how we are going to apply this thing in this question. Now when it is from 0 0 to 1 to 1, there is no coordinate is given in that way in which direction it is given. So then we need to do what? Work done, we need to perform an integration. So what we get it here is that, so work done W here in this case, it is from 0 comma 0 to 1 comma 1, force into displacement, force vector into displacement vector. So here it is given, what is the force vector? Force vector is given x, y into I plus x square into j. And what is the displacement vector? Displacement ds, s is x, y, z, so displacement should be dxi plus dyj plus dzk. So now let's apply this thing. So this will equal to, so from here what we get, the value of w is equal to integration 0 0 to 1 comma 1. here it is going. Okay, so yi plus x square j dot, what do we get? Dxi plus dyj plus dzk. So from here what we get? W equal to, it is 0, 0 to 1, 1. From the dot product, what we can write? From dot product we can write y dx plus x square dy. Now here you need to apply x square dy. Sorry, there is a problem is happening here. In that, just a minute. So plus just give me a minute to erase some unnecessary writing is coming from the digital pen. Okay, so y dx plus x square dy. So from there, you need to apply that concept of y equal to x. It is given that y equal to x. If we apply this concept here, so then it comes w equal to 0, 0 to 1, 1. Y dx become x dx because y equal to x, and x squared dy become y squared dy. So now it is a definite integration. So if we make it here is x square by 2 plus y cube by 3, and here it is varying from 0, 0 to 1, 1. Apply the value of x equal to 1, then you will get it is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3, because rest will be 0 because the lower limit is 0. So this is joule, so that is equal to 5 by 6 joule. So we get, so this implies we get correct option as B. So this is the option B we get.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
sir, why can't you integrate ds at the first itself?
Yeah, but because there is a multiple variable, there are two variable y and x. If it is a
Okay.
single variable, you can. And from that double variable y and x, there is a relation is given to convert it to a single variable. Okay.
Okay.
So that is why you need to convert to a single variable. That's what we use that property here, because as I say read here, since it is given that y is equal to x. Okay, so with this we are done with all the part 1 and part 2 questions of physics, chemistry and mathematics. So biology answer I will be sending it to you. Okay, so biology answer I will be sending it to you so that you can go through it, the biology answers. And biology is something in KVPY, what I can say is that uh, more than discussing with the faculty at this moment, what it makes sense is that please go through it. Any doubt, let me know, because we can spend more time in solving problems in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And you go through the solutions. I will be sending it to you today or by tomorrow morning. Any doubt in any of these biology questions, please bring it to my notice and I'll make sure this is getting answered by our biology faculty who will be contacting you. Uh, with this note, I would like to conclude my statement. If you have any statement or any comments, please do let me know. Our next session, I will be sending a mock test to pretty soon. Uh, and I do not have time today because it is already post 10:30. In the next class, I'll show you how you can leverage, the online test platform to give KVPI mock test. You know that you can use KVPI, for practice test and write online exam, but recently we have made it possible for the entire KVPI online exam for all the 80 questions in 3 hours. It is very good we have developed. So I will show it to you in the next class. Till that time, I wish you all the best in your studies. And most importantly, never hesitate at any point of time, which I keep on repeating because you need to work out any doubt. Your faculty is just a WhatsApp away. Okay. If you have any statement, please do let me know. Otherwise, I would like to conclude here. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks, Shreya, for your statement. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you, Varun. Thank you, Akanksha.